Hi and welcome to this simplified menstrual practice which can be done during the days of menstruation. I hope it is simple enough to be done even by absolute beginners who have had no experience of asana practice. But do please go through the previous two recordings, the one on introduction and some basic principles to be followed, and the second one which had the detailed instructions. This is a follow along session, so it will have minimal instructions. I will still demonstrate all of the options or some of the options in each of the positions to take care of different body types, physical limitations, but the instructions will not be detailed. I am going to start to use, this is a supported practice. So, I have a stack of blankets. These can be any blankets, rugs, towels that can be folded and that are firm. I have a bolster, but you can also use cushions or pillows as long as they are firm. I have a backless yoga chair, but we do not need a backless chair or we do not need a special yoga chair, it can just be any chair. And I have this scarf that I am going to use. And you will need a wall, so be close to a wall. We have 10 positions to go through. I will not stay in any one of these positions for more than 5 minutes, and even those 5 minutes are only because I will be showing multiple adaptations or variations in each position. When you are doing this yourself, you also need not hold any one of these positions for more than 5 minutes. Of course, if you do like any of the positions and you do want to stay a little longer, then you can increase the holding time by 1 or 2 minutes, but please be aware that even though you are supported, your muscles are going to be relaxed, and if you hold for too long without being familiar with these positions, it is possible to overstretch some connective tissue like a ligament or even a muscle. So, I would advise for now, do not hold for more than 2 to 5 minutes. As you gain more familiarity, more confidence, you can increase the holding time. And most definitely, please do not go to sleep in any one of the positions, even if they feel very relaxing. Let us start. The first position was a forward extension, going forward with the head resting. So, this is the format I am going to follow. I will start with the least complicated setup using the least amount of things, which might also be difficult for some people, and I will slowly build up to show one or two other possible setups which need more things, need more props, but which might be more accessible to some people. So, let us start with this. I have one bolster in front of me. You can take a stack of blankets also, or a few pillows. An additional, this could be a folded towel, and we just go forward. Rest the forehead. So, this is a follow along session. I am not demonstrating. If you are comfortable with this position, then please go ahead and start. I am going to move on to one or two other adaptations. If your buttocks are lifting up, if you are going like that, then we can increase the height. We can also increase this height. The thighs are separated, and I have pulled the bolster or this whole set of things close to my abdomen. If even this is not working, And if even this is not working, so if you are not able to sit on the floor at all, this would be my recommendation, where you can do it on 2 chairs or a chair and a low table, or even a chair and the bed. And even if this is too difficult to set up, let's look at the last option. Yes, I am staying on for another 3 minutes or so. You can get started. I am staying here for a couple of minutes. Then slowly inhale and come up. This position is the first one that we are doing in this practice, so take sufficient time and effort to set it up, because it really sets us up mentally for the next set of things that we are going to do. The 2 seated positions, seated on sufficient height. The first one, where the legs are out straight and the legs are spread out. Just holding this for a couple of minutes. Take adequate height so that the back is not having to struggle to stay upright and the legs are not having to struggle to stay straight. Change the leg position, fold the legs in, join the soles of the feet. The marker here is that the knee has to come to the same level as the groin, which makes the thighs parallel with the floor. So, the thighs become more or less parallel with the floor. If your knee is going higher, then please take additional height. Same arm position, chest up, head in the center. You can keep your eyes open, be upright, just holding for a couple of minutes. And to release this position, lift the knees up towards the ceiling and bring the legs together. And this is the one where we lie down and one of the leg is taken out sideways. I am taking support for my head, this is optional. And we are going to use anything like a yoga strap, or I am just using a scarf to control the leg that is going to go out sideways. We need a wall for this asana, and this is the wall that I am going to use. It so happens that I actually have walls on two sides. So, I have a wall here and I have a wall here, and since I have two walls, I am going to use both the walls, but you just need one wall. Again, everything in this session we are doing together. So, look if you have to look, otherwise you can settle down in your position. So, my straight leg can also go to a wall. Lift this leg up. I am starting on my right side. Adjust the distance from the wall so that the sideways leg foot can go to rest on the wall. Notice once again that I have kept this foot quite high. It is about 18 to 20 inches away from the floor. And we are going to do this right, left, twice on each side, and we will hold for about a minute on each side. The adaptations that are possible in case this is not comfortable, one is you can keep this leg bent. The second one is you can straighten this leg, the straight leg, keep the sideways leg bent and pressing into any piece of furniture like the leg of a chair. And support the thigh with a cushion or a couple of cushions. So, the sideways leg is now out at a 90 degree. Holding for a few more seconds. The body faces the front, the leg has gone out to the right side, we should not be leaning to the right side. So, adjust the supports accordingly so that you can stay in the center, which means the chest facing the ceiling, the abdomen facing the ceiling, both the shoulders on the floor, both the buttocks on the floor, arms can be taken out to the sides. And then release, let us change the side. Yes, please go ahead and change the side. I am just going to show on the same leg a different view so that it is clear. Center the leg, center the body, only the left leg should have gone out to the left side. We can keep the arms spread out sideways. So, you should be on your left, holding just for half a minute more. And then release, bring the leg up, release the leg, going back to the right side. In this round, I am just going to stay with the straight leg for both the right and the left. So, we are back on the right side. The right leg goes out to the right side. The foot is about anywhere from 15 to 20 inches, maybe even higher on the floor, to ensure that we are not having to lean on the right side. We should be in the center with the left buttock on the center, with the left buttock on the floor, the left shoulders on the floor, the chest facing the ceiling, the middle of the abdomen facing the ceiling. The left leg can be bent. Half a minute more. Yes, hold the leg through the strap or the scarf, bring it back up, release, change the side. And I think in this angle you can see that foot, the sideways foot, is in line with the hip. I am not pulling it towards my ear too much. So, the leg has just gone out 90 degrees with the body. Holding for a minute. And then hold that strap or scarf to pull the leg back up and release. Just take a couple of breaths there. You can bend your legs if there is any strain on the back. Roll over and sit up. Either in a seated or in a standing position, we interlace the hands, turn the palms out and take the arms up. If there is a shoulder problem, then let's not interlock the hands. We can take the arms out and take the arms up with the arms a little wider. So, either one of those two is fine. And yes, we can also do it standing. Release. If you had interlocked the hands, let's change the direction of the crossing and once again lift the arms up. And release. This is the position that calls for the most amount of things, but it is worth the effort, because once you get used to it, once you get familiar and comfortable with it, it's a wonderfully relaxing asana. So we fold 2 or 3 blankets, rugs, anything, and place it on the center of your mat if you are using the mat, or just place it on the floor. And I have taken 2 of these to build up a height of about 4 inches, and I have staggered this edge taking a thin support for the head. Look and see that it is straight, because your back is going to lie on that. And I will go through both of the leg positions. You can do both, or you can just do the one that you prefer. So, the 2 leg positions are one where the feet touch each other, which we did a little while ago, soles of the feet touching. The other one is just simple cross legs. So, sit enough distance away from this support. We are definitely not sitting on the blanket. We are also not jamming ourselves against these this height is sitting about 2-3 inches away from there. I am starting first with the soles of the feet together. Scarf goes on top of the foot, under the thigh. Lift the chest up before you go down. Take the hands to the sides. Lie back. Pull your feet in slightly by pulling on the strap. Adjust the head support to support the head and the neck. Take a breath. Lift the buttock up and release it, push it, extend it towards the feet, so that the waist becomes long. And we can continue to hold this support that we have taken, and take the fists under the thighs, so that they are supporting the outer thighs. And in this position, we will stay for about 5 minutes. You can try it, and if it is absolutely uncomfortable, then we can just do simple cross legs. Adjust the head support, adjust the back support, adjust the buttock so that the waist stays long. And if this height feels like too much, if it is straining your back, just bring it down lower. So, now I have gone to just about couple of inches of height. Yes. So, I am staying another 3-4 minutes. Arms can go on the sides. You can also extend the arms behind once. Take a couple of breaths like this. This gives a nice stretch on the sides of the body. And then take the arms to the sides. And you can also just bring your hands on somewhere on your abdomen and check the state of the abdomen, or check the state of the breath moving in the abdomen. Couple of minutes more. If you have just crossed your leg, please change the crossing of the leg. and then uncross the legs. Feet to the floor, knees up towards the ceiling. Release the back once again by lifting the buttocks up and extending them towards the feet and then bringing them down on the floor. And then roll over to the right side, press down on the floor with the left hand and sit up. For the next position, we are going to once again use these folded blankets, and this time we do need a little height. So, I am going to go back to 2. In fact, I am going to place a third one on top as well. So, now we have got a little extra height, we have got about 5 to 6 inches. If this is too much, then of course you can go a little lower. Instead of a stack of blankets that I have taken like this, if you have a bolster you can take that, or if you have a couple of firm pillows or cushions, those can be taken as well. Don't use the sticky mat or a yoga mat for this, be on the floor. Yes, we do need the wall. We are doing this together, this is not a demonstration. Sit fairly close to the wall. This space that I am in right now, I no longer have a wall skirting, so there is no platform for my heels to rest, and therefore I am keeping this bolster close by, so I can keep my feet lifted up a little high. Yes, so the legs are bent, lift the chest up, once again take the hands down and lie back. The buttocks are on the height, please do not slip off the height. Then we hold, so as you can see my legs are still bent. I hold this support, press the feet to the wall, carefully push out till the legs become straight. Do not arch your back so much that your back starts to get strained. At the same time, do not sink the chest down. The shoulders are little bit rolled down towards the floor. You can keep the feet wide enough apart, that also helps to release any strain on the back, and then be there. So, we are staying in this position for 3 to 4 minutes. If there is any strain on the back, you can come down before that. Arms can go on the sides, no head support for this one. Arms can either go on the side, or again arms can just come to rest on your abdomen, and you can again check what is the state of the abdomen, how soft is the abdomen, how is the breath in the abdomen. You can feel it, if it is moving evenly, softly, smoothly. In this position, your chin is coming close to your chest, and this might be a little unusual position for you. Try not to back off from it, let the chin come towards the chest. Try to keep the lower jaw relaxed, try to keep the throat relaxed. Two more minutes. To release this position, first we will bend our legs and bring the feet down to the floor. Stay there for a couple of breaths. Then lift the buttocks up a little bit so that that support can be pushed away towards the feet side, and we land the buttocks down on the floor, and we can cross our legs on top of the support. Just be there for another couple of breaths. Roll over to the right side, press down on the floor with the left palm and sit up. A gentle twisting or turning action to release the back in case there has been any strain on the back. Plant the feet on the floor with the feet slightly apart, hip width apart. The backrest of the chair is on the right side. So, we will start by turning towards the right. First, lift the arms up. If there is any shoulder discomfort, arms will stay wider, or you do not have to lift the arms up at all. Turn towards the right, hold the backrest of the chair, press the feet well, and then turn the upper back, middle back. The head and neck can also turn. Keep the shoulders relaxed, please. This is just a very light twist, and especially if you have cramps, don't overdo the twist. It is just to release the back. Release, change the side. To the left. Release, back to the right for a shorter hold. And release. The final asana before we go to Shavasana. Have a few options for both the seat and for the head height. I am starting with this basic position where we will keep the legs straight and keep, because I have a metal chair which is hard, I am just placing a blanket on it to make it soft. But this is also adjusting the height. So, if this is too low, you can take more height. We will loosely cross the forearms and then rest the forehead on the loosely crossed forearms. Staying in the seated forward extension for a couple of minutes. If you have cramps and if this is not feeling good, then you can omit this and go straight to Shavasana. This helps with headaches, it helps with bloating, inflammation of the legs, especially if you try a few different variations of the legs. This is with both the legs straight. If it's too difficult, you can take the legs a little wider. See if that helps. Experiment with the height of the seat. Increasing the height will help us to go forward more easily. Experiment with the height of the headrest. Increasing that height will help us to bring the head to rest more easily. And experiment with the leg position. So, I have now gone through all of these variations that we can try quite quickly. choose the one that you would like to do for today, and let's do it for a couple of minutes. If you are doing something like this where I have bent one leg out to the side, then of course you will have to do it twice, so you do it on the other side as well. Let's start. I just lift the arms up once briefly before going forward, and then go forward. I am just going through these leg positions just for reference. You don't have to do that, you can just stay with one leg position. And I am not showing the seated forward bend that we did at the beginning. If it is not at all possible to come to the floor, then we can end with what we did right at the beginning. So you can sit on a chair, go forward on a higher table, or preferably sit on a chair and go forward on a lower table, maybe on your bed. We can end with that. Last minute or so. And then inhale and come up. And get ready for the final resting position. As you go into your final Shavasana, I am going to just say aloud the names of the asanas that we did today. You don't have to remember the names, but I think it might be nice for you to know what you are doing. So let's get started on Shavasana first. You can take a thin support for the head, it is not essential, but if lying down flat on the floor makes you uncomfortable, please feel free to take something. Let us start with the legs bent. We can all start with the legs bent, and this is an easier position for the back, for everybody's back, irrespective of whether or not your back is feeling strained. So keep the feet separate, knees up towards the ceiling. And once again your hands can come to the abdomen to assess the condition of the abdomen and the breath in the abdomen in the end. You can continue with your Shavasana like this, but a little more supported version, which would still benefit the back, would be to take the legs over a little support, to drape the legs over a support. So I am just bringing together everything that I have used today. and draping my legs over that whole stack of things. And then relax in Shavasana, let go completely. Shavasana should be a state of minimal effort, if not no effort. Shavasana should be a state of minimal effort, if not, even if complete effortlessness, complete cessation of efforts is not possible, Shavasana should be a state of minimal effort. So, find a position where you can be comfortable, where you can relax without having to worry about holding your arms in place, legs in place, head in place, without having to put up with some discomfort. And then just be there for 2 to 5 minutes. You can do a longer Shavasana, but at least start with a couple of minutes. And while you are in Shavasana, I am just stating the names of the asanas that we did today, starting with Adho Mukha Virasana. The two seated positions were Upavishta Konasana and Baddha Konasana. The one where the leg went out sideways, one leg at a time, was Supta Padangushthasana Parshva, also sometimes called Supta Padangushthasana 2. The supine or reclined position where our back was lifted up were Supta Baddha Konasana or Supta Swastikasana. The slight back arching position with the hips lifted up on support was Setubandha Sarvangasana. The twist that we did on the chair was a variation of a classical yogasana called Bharadwajasana. We ended with seated forward extension. Depending on the position of the leg, they would have different names, like Paschimottanasana if both the legs were straight, Janu Shirshasana if one of the legs was bent out to the side, Adho Mukha Swastikasana if you had crossed your legs, Adho Mukha Upavishta Konasana if you had separated the legs out wide. Don't worry about remembering the names, and in any case I am putting it on the last screen of this recording. If you are indeed an absolute beginner and you've not really tried asana practice before, I hope this helps you, but at the same time I have to confess that this is a very, very limited view of asana practice. And I hope you will be able to find a teacher or another resource who will be able to give you a much wider perspective. While this practice is good to do during days of menstruation, it is also good to do at other days if you are feeling low energy, fatigue, stressed, you have a headache. we have seen in our regular classes that doing a balanced practice through the month, including all the categories of asanas, forward extensions, back arches, twists, inversions, usually resolves many of the chronic problems, not just for women, not just for menstruation, but for all organs and organ systems. We wish you a much more detailed study and practice in the field of asanas. Thank you.